Welcome back. This is the newsshooter.com live show from the Vitec booth here at NAB 2015. I'm joined now by Manfrotto, who are well known for making tripods and now other kinds of photographic and video accessories. Yes. This is Renzo, who's in charge of marketing and product development, and Paolo, who is going to demonstrate a very intriguing new product. Yes. Renzo, we can start with you. I'm from a photographic background. I've moved into video. Manfrotto's been there all the way through. I've known them. I've used Manfrotto tripods, since I was a student.
Right. Yeah.
What's all this stuff you've got going on?
Well, first of all, Manfrotto is not only tripods.
Of
Manfrotto
course.
is a lot of other accessories for photography. People are very passionate about our tripods. They are very diffused. The only thing with tripods is that you buy a new one every 15 years or so.
Yeah.
So, all the people in love with the brand, we are in love with our consumers and want to give more things to them that help them, improving their photography and video as well. So we have been doing bags, we have been doing lighting, but we wanted to get more active in the control and in the participation to the end product of the photographer and the videographer. And one of the ideas we started from is that when you're starting doing video and photos seriously, sometimes working only with a small screen is a bit annoying because you don't see really whether things are on focus or not. It's a bit difficult to do the change of focus when you're shooting a video. And then of course the professional videographer, they use the on-camera monitors and things like that, but a lot of us, most of us, they have an iPad in their bag. So why is it not possible to connect the iPad with the camera? And when we started looking and asking around to people, a lot of people had the same question. iPad is such a great tool for video and photo, but you cannot attach it directly to the camera. So we came, with the idea of, why don't we do that? We have learned the language of cameras, the firmware of cameras, because we have been doing remote controllers for a while, and then we knew how to do apps.
Yeah,
so
you had tripod remote control, tripod type.
Yeah,
remote.
Yeah. So you have the remote control that you control the camera with our hardware, and we thought, why don't we connect the camera to the iPad? And so that's a very simple idea. But
should we ask Paolo to give us a quick demonstration?
Yes.
Yes. As we go into that, I think it's important that this is not just a wire going from a camera to the iPad, because otherwise other people would have done it earlier. Because there is a lot of requests from this. Actually the digital director, which is the product we're talking about here, encompasses a piece of hardware where we have a board that essentially translates the language of the camera into the language of the iPad, sometimes reducing the size, because for example if you shoot RAW, it takes too much space on the iPad, and it translates the RAW directly into a language that the iPad can comprehend. So that's the software, the hardware part, sorry. And then we have the software, so the user interface, which is the way to control the camera and actually to see what the camera is seeing. So essentially with the digital director, you can really change and improve the workflow by seeing what the camera sees and controlling what the camera does, all with one hardware and with one app.
Right. Okay. So
maybe it's better that we have a look at how it works. And Paolo is
I only would like to highlight one thing very important for us, is that we are now dealing with the workflow of the people. So if you're talking about our user, he is starting always setting the key parameters of the camera and landing, which is the dream. The dream is sharing the information, using the same app, using the same device. So this is exactly what we are doing now.
So this is not just control, this
absolutely,
is control.
Absolutely.
That's the really important part.
The control is only a piece of the puzzle. It's only a puzzle inside the
because
system.
If you are, for example, there are videos, monitors that you can connect wirelessly. But with a wireless connection, first of all, in a place like this, it would be totally impossible because you have too many wireless. But second, when you have shot and perhaps you want to share the picture with your customer, you have to exit the wireless of the device and enter the wireless of the ambient. And this instead, without disconnecting, you can just take the pictures that you just shot and share it with your customer.
Yeah,
and you can show stills and video at the moment?
I'll show you in
please,
a few
so
minutes.
let's see.
Let's start from the first step of the workflow. So we need to set up the key camera parameters. You can see here the standard layout of the app. So we have the live streaming in the center here. We can all the key parameters here. So for example, because we already own the camera protocols as Canon and Nikon in this case, we have full access to the protocol itself. So we can control the ISO, for example, the exposure time. We can control the aperture. It is just an example because we really have access to all the features, all the key parameters of the camera, which is the key feature in this case.
And you get a live preview of anything.
Exactly. Imagine in terms of educational. If I have to explain to a guy how the ISO is impacting the picture or how the aperture is impacting the picture, I just need to move the key parameter here and everything is changing the picture here. So I have a real-time control of what's happening into my sensor.
It might be difficult for viewers to see online, but it's actually a pretty impressive image quality you're getting on the live.
Don't forget that we are always talking about iPad. That's the best in terms of resolution because it is based on Retina display. Okay. So finally we are able to use the Teradek connection with the iPad. So this is just the first step. We have full access to the histogram, for example, choosing between black and white and RGB. We can change the color temperature. We can do a lot of different things. So as soon as we have the right picture, let's say that I'm going to change a little bit the exposure time. This is my picture. The light is nice. What I have to do, I have to define the perfect focus position on this picture. So why not using the touching feature of the iPad?
You can just touch and drag and
touch in the place. If I need to focus over there.
Oh wow, look at the speed of that. That's amazing. Yeah.
Why it is fast? Because Digital Director is an interface composed by a support, of course, of the iPad, but we have it is not complicated, but it is complete electronic behind. So we can translate information from iOS to camera protocol. We can speed up the live streaming and we can speed up the downloading of the information. Mm-hmm. So this is the picture. I need to make a focus on your face. Just touch it here.
There you go.
Am I sure that you are really in focus position? Let's do this digital zoom. So is it okay? Yeah, it is really
it's a bit too unflattering that.
Okay. So what we need to do now? Another step. Taking the picture.
Okay.
So now the picture is inside the camera. I have the preview inside the gallery. If I want to really see the detail, let's say that I'm doing a macro picture of this nice flower. I'm taking the picture, activating autoplay here. I'm taking the picture. Now Digital Director Electronic is asking for the high quality file from the memory card of the camera, and this is exactly the same file inside my iPad. So it means that if you're tired now and we are going to have a coffee, I can take it out my iPad, I can fly with it, so I can share, I can do post-production. This is the picture, I can check exactly. You know?
So there you
I
go.
Can play I can play with this very nice
it
picture.
can smooth the skin and remove imperfections and things like that.
So moving ahead to the other step of the workflow, I can rate it, so it is a fantastic picture for me, so 5 stars.
Well, I'm glad you think that.
Okay. So I can also do some post-production. So I can, for example, crop this image like this. This is what I need. Crop and save.
Wow.
Now I have my picture. So the last operation is sending to my friend, sending to my boss.
We're out of time, unfortunately, but can you do video the same
of
way?
course.
Yeah, sure. Let me come back here.
Just toggle.
As you can see here on top, we have a nice selector between camera and camcorder. So switching it to camcorder, okay, I have a full control of a video application. So I can record image and look at here, working in this way, I can hide all the key parameters and our iPad is becoming a real...
You see on this, it's actually it's negligible.
We are working with 30 frames per second. That's exactly the same performance of an external monitor. Thanks to the cable connection, thanks to the electronic we are putting behind Digital Director here.
Okay, we have to wrap up, but very quickly, how much is this going to be and when can people buy it?
The MAP price will be $499 US.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Plus iPad, of course.
Yeah. Plus you have to buy the iPad. Yes.
And another, excuse me, let me make only one comment. Our user, our partners are Apple addicted. So they are always working with iPhone, iPad, and iMac. So that's why we are giving them a fantastic tool to enlarge the possibility with the photo video.
And it will be available from the end of May, beginning of June in Europe, and then in America at about the same time.
Okay, Paolo, Renzo, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
If people want to see it, they can go over to the Vitec booth where we're sitting now.
Of course they can.
And they can play. So come on down if you're
please come.
Okay, we'll be back right after a very short break with some lovely lights from Light Panels.